I mean, really, we mentioned it a little bit before. I don't think we've seen a bigger crowd here at a night game at Football Park, apart from the interstate games against Victoria.
No question, Pete. This is the biggest crowd ever at a night game between local teams.
Right, it's about to get underway. Let's join our commentators now, Neville Roberts and Ian Day.
An unbelievable scene here at Footy Park for the final of the 1988 Escort Cup. Umpire Laurie Argent about to get the game underway before 25,000 people plus. Negri gets the tap away. In goes Parsons. Tottenham over the top. But the umpire will come and ball it up right in the centre circle. Gee, they're edgy out there tonight, I can tell you. There must be all of 20, 24 players in the big centre square. As umpire Kinnear this time joining Argent tonight, puts it down. Abernethy can't. I think he was going to get a free kick out of it. And the penalty free not to Abernethy. It'll go the way of Port Adelaide to be taken on by looks like to be Darryl Borlase up in the centre square. Drives to the half-forward line. Big leap there, not successful. A chance for Woodville to come away now up towards centre wing. The bounce will determine this one. Can't quite get there. Quickly now Haylock gets it out. Saw a chance. Ebert there as well. Tottenham getting back in defence. Quickly Delaney comes to meet the ball. Throws it away. Crowd one holding the ball. Not given. In they go hard. Williams tries to get it out. Not Williams. Down in there. Yes, it is Stephen Williams trying to get it out, but the umpire will ball it up half-forward flank.
Well, $65,000 purse tonight. 40,000 to the winner as Port Adelaide clear through Craig Ebert. Oh, courageous mark there. Going with the flight of the ball. Brilliantly done by young Scott Parsons. He's on centre wing and the Woodville side tacking to the northern end. Very little breeze out there tonight. Big Negri puts the hands up, takes a good mark, and he's at centre half forward. Too far out to score. Puts it out. Nichols is the key. He couldn't possibly mark that. Hasn't got the height down there. A chance. Arvin snaps at goal, and that's the first score for this evening. A point to Woodville, and they lead by that margin at the 1 minute 40-second mark of the first quarter.
And we saw Saturday in the Woodville West game that every time Woodville get the ball, they'll go through centre half forward to keep the face of goal open, and that's the way they've opened tonight.
Agree with you, Neville. Gee, the scene here at Footy Park is like an interstate game against Victoria. Unbelievable atmosphere. Phillips gets it out, gives a chance out there to Abba, but he can't keep the ball in play or can't get to the ball, and it's out of bounds on the half-forward right flank. Have a look at that for a crowd. Is football healthy in South Australia? I ask you. There's the evidence. Klug at the back. In front there was Lunn trying to get through Parsons. Quickly onto the boot now of Haylock towards the half-forward line. Into the pocket it goes, and it's out of play about 25 metres around from the Woodville goal.
Well, the flag's out there are limp, so we can only assume from that there is no breeze advantage to either end. Lunn in front, put his hand on it. Here's a chance for Port Adelaide to clear now through Harvey. Harvey kicks it back towards centre wing. Lunn comes through, a long kick up towards full forward. Delaney behind, tries for the punch, can't get the ball away. Tries for the free kick, it wasn't there, and umpire Kinnear will come in and bounce it. Umpires Laurie Argent and Rick Kinnear, and I'll tell you what, the umpires love grand finals too. That's what they live for right through the year. A chance for Woodville, can't get boot to ball down there. There's a free kick. Umpire Kinnear picks it out, and on that occasion it will go to Fiarchi.
Pete, I wouldn't be at all surprised if he's roving this evening. Normally we see him in the back pocket, but Kerr started in the pocket. Fiarchi's on the ball as he drives up towards Leslie on the half-forward line. Can't get it quickly in. Parsons whips out a handball. Templeton can't make it quickly. Parsons in the action again. Woodville into attack with the left foot up towards full forward. It's a straddle up there. Up goes Delaney. Can't bring it down. Harrison against the tide. Once again it's going to be a ball up as umpire Kinnear comes and puts it down about 20 metres out in front of the Woodville goal.
The Warriors doing all the attacking in.
Not wrong at the moment, Peter. Port Adelaide haven't had it past their half-forward line. Maybe the signs are ominous. Getting back on the ball, Harris there, quickly thumping the ball out of play for Port Adelaide is Foster, and the ball will be put back about 30 metres around from the Woodville goal.
Peter, Roger Kerr's second rover. O'Brien's on the ball. He started roving for Port Adelaide, and Fuller started in the centre for Woodville.
Yeah, you might have a look and see if you can find ball A's for us, Neville, just to see where he's playing. Handball out to no real effect. It comes back towards Hayden Stevens. Oh, he is jumped on. The umpire says that is a high tackle, and young Hayden Stevens will take it. And he started his football career a long time ago in Mount Gambier. and a warm welcome to all Mount Gambier viewers. Martin Leslie puts it out to Abernethy. He's the star for Port Adelaide. Played a marvellous game last Saturday against Sturt. Puts it out towards centre wing. I don't think the player out there will keep it in, Scott Hodges. No, he didn't. It's out of bounds, and there will be a throw-in on centre wing outer side.
Played almost 5 minutes, only one score, and that's the point to the Warriors. And gee, are the young fans happy tonight? Hodges from a free kick, off the fingers, quickly now Harvey, John type, drives in towards full forward, they charge to meet it, Hines underneath the ball, beautifully done, quickly now it's Dwyer called to play on, puts it out wide to the outer side, the leap there by Kennedy, not successful, going through, should have got the free kick is Panizza, and the umpire's going to concede one, and he's taking it on the half-back flank for the Warriors.
He's worked very hard too, Daisy, to get fit. You were at the game on Saturday, and he didn't look too good towards the end.
Peter, they took him off. He sat in the bunker for quite some time, then came back on when Woodville looked in trouble, and of course, in the end, they lost the game.
Well, they're keen for a premiership. It comes out towards Kerr. He's got the pace, turns onto the right boot. This is Port Adelaide's first score. A point only, but encouraging signs as Port Adelaide now starting to attack the southern end goal.
Neville, the loss of Russell Johnson, a big job for young Craig Lunn this evening.
Yes, it's an enormous job, Ian, but in this sort of environment we've seen tonight, both sides have put their body in. They've both stamped some initiative on this game, and we're going to see a fair bit of commitment early in this game for someone to try and get a break.
Grant, Fuller, Hodges, Fuller's trying to get it out. Leslie back to Grant. Sporting a little lighter hairdo on this occasion. Fuller back again, taps it out well. It comes to Lynch now, whips it out wide. Half forward line, they go into attack through Klug. Puts in a long one, he's going for home, getting back on it now. Couldn't quite get there, a chance. Stevens puts it out. Nichols can't find the footy. Oh, he had an enormous chance there if he could have grubbered it through. Couldn't find it. And the Warriors nudged their second point.
Oh, what a chance. Gee, Hayden Stevens, he really gave Nichols the opportunity. As Ende said, he just couldn't find it, which is unlike Nichols. The pressure is on, coming to you courtesy of 10 Sports Action. Up goes Phillips. Now Kerr. He should find a player further afield. Harrison is the target. Finds that player. Play on go Port Adelaide. Tacking up towards half forward. Out it comes. Harrison from Obst. Harrison again. Here's a chance. Port Adelaide. Craig Ebert puts it out in front. Hines is in there. Goes up. Can't take the mark. A chance for Woodville to recover. They do through Deso Dwyer. Away they go. No, they're cut off. Port Adelaide back in it. Here's a chance for a score. Kennedy it was. He's hit the behind post. So it is out on the full.
Gee, Panizza sidestepped on that one. I don't know whether he thought a player was going to come and help him out, but Kennedy got a marvellous run. Couldn't make it. Tottenham in. Thumped away Harrison. Fiachi back in defence. Dettman there as well. Picked up now quickly by Harrison in towards goal. O'Dwyer versus Hines. One-on-one into the pocket, and Hines can't quite get there as O'Dwyer goes for the safety of the line.
Ian, it appears that Port Adelaide is playing on a half-forward flank at the moment, but I wouldn't be surprised if he went back to that forward pocket as the game got going.
Kerr it is, picks it up on the rebound, swings it around, but they're inaccurate again. And Daisy, I know we say it quite often, but the Port Adelaide players have suffered from inaccuracy in front of goal for some time now.
Yes, it's a malady they don't want, Peter, but tonight's a pretty important night for them. They're going to have to get their right boots on. The Warriors firing well. Up there goes a big leap. Harrison at the back, can't quite get it. Tottenham thought about going back to Dettman. The kick is not good. Well read Abernethy. No, Harrison hooks around the corner again, but under pressure, can't keep it in play, and the penalty will go to Lynch inside their half-back line.
2 points each side, 8.5 minutes, first quarter. 21 minutes the first 2 quarters. There is time on in the second 2 quarters. By the way, there cannot be a draw tonight. If the scores are level at full time, they just keep on playing. And away goes Haylock. Nichols again the target. A chance for Harris. He's the player behind. No, it's Ralph Sewer. He ran through the ball. Ebert it is. Nichols fighting in there for the Warriors. The ball won't come out though. Port Adelaide appeared to have control. The boot went in. Fuller got her out. Fuller's the captain of the Warriors tonight. Back it goes. Parsons it is. Kick smothered. Brilliant work, Phillips. Away they go again, the Warriors. They're going in all the time. Haylock's taken the mark at half forward. And this could be the Warriors' first chance for a major. Lunn was the player who followed the ball down. A quick kick. Found Haylock. He's at half forward. He'd be about 45 metres from goal. 9.5 minutes, first quarter, no goals scored yet. Haylock's third kick, close, but only a point. So Port Adelaide 2 points. Should I say yes, Port 2 points, the Warriors 3 points.
What a triumph for footy it is tonight. Bumper to bumper down the boulevard in the early moments tonight. Must be over 25,000 people. Delaney puts it in. That's a top mark taken there. Phillips put everything into it, but Klug too strong in the air, and the Tasmanian takes a fine mark. I think he's beyond his distance. It's his third mark for the evening, third kick as well. John Klug, a nice looking kick. Geez, heaved that a long way up towards Nichols. Big mark. Oh, Hayden Stevens shot in front of the pack. Came from the clouds, and the ex-Mount Gambier boy has got a big chance to put on the first goal for the evening. Hayden Stevens, reserves Negri medalist a couple of years ago. Had a spell last season, has come back full of fighting. There it is from the back. Fine goal. Stevens first, Woodville's first. 1-3 to 2 points. Right, Lunn from the left. Down they go again. Ball forced out. Here's a chance now for Lunn, defending stoutly. The handball out, finds Parsons in turn. Harris has to get it out wide now. Lunn butters up for the 1-2. In a bit of trouble. He goes back now to the lead of Parsons. No time it was. Half forward line, Sewer. The Warriors starting to fire now. Urgency is the key word. They put it out for Nichols. Delaney's got to get back. Nichols can't quite. Phillips helps out. Defends strongly from centre half back. Goes long. Up towards the half forward line. Getting back on the ball. Hodges whips it out in front of Grant. Lunn gets it out. Lynch to Lunn. Fiacci the tackler. Out wide. Loose ball. Bounce could decide. Kennedy against Panizza. Now Dettman. Dettman in defence. Panizza. Can he raise that metre with the gammy leg? Gets it towards centre wing. Does it well. Puts it out for Fuller. Backing up superbly. Now giving the run is Dettman back to the half forward line. Coming to meet it there was Haylock. Now Harris. He'll need support. Can't find any at all. Hard work out there at the moment. In goes Parsons. Tottenham. Now the running par is Dettman. The handball's not that good. Schwartz gets it over. Fuller now to Tottenham. The Warriors run it. Put a long one up towards full forwards. Stevens again. Nichols open goal. The Warriors have got their second.
Port Adelaide 2 points. The Warriors 2 goals, 3. And Daisy, I don't know your judgment of crowds. Actually, it's pretty good historically, but if there's not more than 30, well over 30,000 here at the moment, I'm a poor judge.
Peter, it's exciting. I agree with you. There's a huge crowd here, and gee, aren't they enjoying some top footy at the moment? And you're witnessing it on 10 Sports Action. Quickly in Stevens, who started well, gives the ball back. This Tottenham's a good player, I can tell you. Out comes Nichols, intercepting well though is Stephen Williams. Williams goes towards centre wing. Well taken there by Arlen Kennedy. Runs into a bit of trouble, out of it well. Drives long, Boys in the action up there. Can't bring it down. Dettman supports. Well run down by Leslie. Holding the cherry. Oh, umpire Argent has given it against Dettman. A little swift. And Leslie has a chance now from 35 metres out to put on a steadying Port Adelaide goal. They need one. No breeze, as Peter told you. 15 points to 2. And Martin Leslie from 45 degrees.
The tackle was quick. The decision was quick, but the tackle was very good, Ian.
Leslie, nice looking kick. Is it coming back? Umpire underneath the post says it's 1 point only. And Port Adelaide don't need those right at the moment. 3 points. They trail the Warriors 2-3.
The Warriors, a brilliant start tonight. They're keyed up. They want that first title. They're on their way to it, of course, but there is a long, long way to go. Des O'Dwyer puts it out, and it's marked by Robert Lynch. On the outer side of the ground, a short kick up there to Grant. Grant's at half-back.
Peter, they've got a possession from nearly every kick-out so far. They're doing something that's fairly old. They gather in the centre at the kick-out and then just go to the flanks. Port haven't picked that up yet.
And they're running through half-forward too well. Neville, Arvin got the kick forward. Nichols couldn't mark it, but it's his ground play that he stars at, particularly tonight. Harris puts the ball out. He's in trouble. Down he goes. That's holding the ball. That wasn't a quick decision, but it was a correct one. He might have got one high in the... yes, he did. He got it right on the jaw. But umpire Kinnear says you had it too long before that.
Peter, in pressure games, your first thought's always your best one, and Harris has had enough experience to get rid of the ball a lot quicker than that.
Sure has. Harrison put it out with his fourth kick, marked by Lunn. Craig Lunn, a big responsibility on his shoulders, as we mentioned. Russell Johnson not playing tonight. Good mark, Lunn. Leslie in front, couldn't mark the ball. Negri pushes it out to Tottenham. He's hit high. The umpires are consistent with that one, Daisy. He's got the free kick.
Yes, Peter, as I said, this fellow's a good player, Stuart Tottenham, as he gets it out wide. Kick number 4 in the early minutes and finds Alex Lunn. Half-back flank. Edges the ball out of defence. A long kick, but it's all Port Adelaide up there. Ought to be Phillips. Oh, he dropped a sitter. Harris in there. Phillips tries to atone for his easy mistake there, and the umpire's going, oh, Pinky for holding the ball. Phillips is not hard. He appeared to be trying to get rid of it, and the umpire's going to give the free kick on the outer side to Klug.
Put that one down to the lights. That's a very difficult position looking into that southern light, Ian.
What are you telling me? The umpires are blind, Neville. Sewer goes towards the line. It's a nice way of putting it, Neville. I agree with that. The ball out of play in the right full forward pocket.
Not the free kick, the dropping the ball.
16 minutes plus first quarter. Great game of football here. 10 sports action. Klug gets it out. Here's another chance for the Warriors. Oh, he's put onto his left foot and slammed it through. I think it was Haylock. Great goal, Warriors. 3-3 to Port Adelaide. 3 points.
Running players slaughtering Port Adelaide counterparts at the moment as they go into attack again through Haylock up towards the half-forward line. Phillips gets it out to Stevens. Over the centre line go the Magpies, wanting an attack that reaches a goal. Here's a chance now. Hodges gets it out. Harrison hooks around the corner. Hines comes to meet it. The bounce could decide. Here's a chance hooking around the corner now is Borlays. He's going to bounce through. Port Adelaide are on the board. A valuable one to Daryl Borlays. His and Port Adelaide's first.
Well, Daryl Borlays we've seen as an opportunist who just makes the most of any opportunity. That was quite freakish, that kick for goal. But I still feel that Port Adelaide are doing it very, very hard. They had to scramble that ball into their forward line so far, whereas on the other hand, Woodville seem to be going in reasonably cleanly. Players with good vision and the ball coming in fairly neatly to their hands.
I'd agree they're doing it hard, Neville, but they're only 2 kicks out of the game at the moment, and Port Adelaide has been inaccurate in front of goals in many of its recent games, and I'm sure that Russ, you fall for that one, don't you? He doesn't coach Port anymore. I'm sure that Jack Cale is looking for better things tonight. It's just the attack side of centre for the Magpies. We're past 18 minutes. 21 minutes only in this first quarter. Martin Leslie takes it away from the centre. A quick kick around the corner. No mark taken there as Hines tries to smother the ball. Hooks it back to Harrison. Onto the left boot. Quick kick away. It won't kick a goal with that one. They're going to clear through Grant. He puts it to Dettman. Dettman should clear for the Warriors. Oh, he ran into a brick wall. Turned around. Pirouetted well. Schwarz now. Kicks down towards centre wing. Parsons up. Oh, great mark. That was from a standing start, that one. That was a brilliant catch. Third kick, Parsons, centre half forward. Big Klug up, no mark taken. They're trying to run it through half forward. The Warriors, strong body work in there. Phillips tries to get the ball out, can't. Abernethy smothered, held when not in possession, and a free kick.
19 minutes gone. First quarter of the final.
Once again, Ian, we see them going back into that centre half forward position. Port Adelaide centremen and utility players. As soon as they get the ball across their centre line, Port Adelaide players should be running to that centre half forward position for crumbs.
Free kick for Scott Hodges. Off goes Hines now out in front of him. He's going to get a leaper with him. Right there with him is O'Dwyer defending stoutly. Puts it out wide for Grant. Grant shoots it towards centre wing. Arvin over the back. Here's a chance. Klug, he's got it. Wants a running player. Gets one out wide. It's Panizza. Panizza drives the Warriors towards the half-forward line, but he's not kicking well. Obviously feeling the strain of that leg just a little bit and puts it out on the full. The penalty free kick on the half-back line will go to Port Adelaide's Craig Ebert. Ebert edges the ball over the centre line, up towards Scott Hodges, gets the leap away. Libas on the turf. Quickly now, Lunn for the Warriors. Drives in long, less than a minute to go. Ebert back. Over the top now, Harris. Loose ball. Klug needs support. Whips it out wide. Here's a chance now for Haylock. Looks for Nichols on the lead. Can't half volley it. Tries to get it back. Harris. Williams. Haylock again. Abernethy back in defence. Loses the ball. Here's a chance now. Fuller wants running support. Gets it back now. Parsons having a fine first quarter. Puts it up towards full forward. Big leap. Hayden Stevens again takes his second magic grab for the quarter with less than 30 seconds to go.
this lad take two fantastic grabs on the forward line tonight, and I just feel that they're really not taking his run at all. They're giving him far too much room.
Stevens puts on his second goal. A marvellous first quarter by Woodville's Hayden Stevens, and also the Warriors themselves. 4-3 to 1-3 as the siren sounds to end a top first quarter on 10 Sports Action. Neville, Woodville by 18 points, and they've done it well.
They have done it well, and as I said earlier, I do feel that Woodville are just a little bit more in control, the way they're actually controlling their ball going through the centre. It's very definite that they're going to go through that centre-half forward position, and Phillips is going to be under a lot of pressure there tonight, and John Klug has already had a fairly severe influence on this game.
It's quarter time here at Football Park. The Warriors leading 4-3 to Port Adelaide 1-3. We'll have more of this great game right after the break on 10 Sports Action. Port Adelaide trailing 1-3 to the Warriors 4-3. Graham, our statistician, tells us that possession rate in the first quarter 82 to 41 in favour of the Warriors.
I can believe that, Peter. Down here the atmosphere is electric. Fantastic atmosphere, and the surprise packet of the first quarter was certainly the boy Hayden Stevens.
Right at the start of the second quarter, the Warriors by 18 points. Out towards the half-forward flank, Haylock had a good first quarter. Might have got a free kick there, but Harrison boots it out of defence for Port. Up towards centre-half order, that's a top mark. Who's that coming up for air? It could be, yes, it's Hodges, is it? Let's have a look at him again. And that's a fine mark as he puts it on its way up towards Hines now. Can't quite get there. Kerr on the left leg, hooks around the corner. Can't quite hook it back far enough. And the ball goes out of play in the full forward left corner for Port Adelaide.
Fantastic situation here at Football Park. Marvellous crowd in. We tried to estimate it before, but I think we'll leave that to the league manager, Mr. Lee Wicker. He might tell us a little bit late on. A kick off the ground. Port Adelaide are back in business. Kerr was the player. Brilliant effort. Port Adelaide 2-3. The Warriors 4-3.
Is now lead only 12 points. Port Adelaide's chance to go into attack again. Up towards the full forward. Grant in there defending for the Warriors. Slips it out. O'Dwyer gets smothered off the boot. Now it's a chance for Lunn to clear. Can't get it out. Hodges looks for support. Still can't find it. Lynch back in defence. Slips it over to Dettman. Takes his time. Then puts it out towards the half-back line. Arlen Kennedy. Loose ball. Panizza doesn't try to pick it up. Can't find Klug. Panizza against Arlen Kennedy. Now for Archie. Phillips. Abernethy. It's hard work out there, I can tell you. Abernethy around the corner looking for Brown, and he's got it. Half-forward flank. And I think that's possibly his first poke touch for the night. No, he's had a handball as well. Young Brown, an up-and-coming player wearing Craig Bradley's number. Flips it up. Hines, the big leaper, can't find it. Kerr winds out with a foot. He's on the left leg. Hooks it back in towards full forward. Here's a chance. Hines can't find it. Borlase it was. 3-0. The 3 Warrior footballers back there can't get it. Here's a chance. Hines again. Oh, too fast for Negri. Booted his first. Port Adelaide 2 and 3 minutes and right back in the fight.
3 minutes, second quarter. Port Adelaide back in business. All goals that they've kicked tonight have been snaps. As Neville Roberts has indicated, they're really working hard for them. The Warriors are a smooth-moving machine compared to Port Adelaide, but that doesn't matter. The Magpies back in business. Klug through half forward, onto the left boot. Could this be a quick reply? What a great goal, John Klug. His first. The Warriors stretch it now. 5-3. Port Adelaide 3-3.
This sensational effort by a big man. Just to see him on several occasions during the Escort Cup do this sort of thing. That's his 5th kick, and we've seen him on his left foot several times going to goal, and he's competent both sides. And Phillips is already under a lot of pressure with Klug, and he'll have to really tighten up on him.
5-3 to 3-3. Goal for goal they struggle now. 4 minutes into the second quarter. Lunn against Negri. Negri gets the flip away. Arlen Kennedy conceding ground. Onto the left boot, half forward line, a chance. Hodges can't get the sit. Lunn right there with him. They put the saddle on Lunn. A chance now for Kennedy. Oh, well played, Alex Lunn. Realised it was 3-1, went for the safety of the line, and has put the ball out at the interchange gate. 5-3 the Warriors, 3-3 the Magpies.
Just past 4 minutes, second quarter, grand final, Escort Cup 1988. 10 Sports Action here at Football Park. What a great game it is so far. Arvin puts the ball forward. Ebert was called out then by Stephen Williams, and that was a courageous mark. Stephen Williams, second kick only, looks for Harrison. The fast-moving Harrison doesn't let him down. That's his 8th kick, Harrison. He's been in the action. No mark taken on centre wing. A chance for Robert Lynch out there. Gathers the ball, puts it onto the left boot, kicks it into the open space. Who can get there first? Harrison it is. Keeps the ball in play, and that was very well done. Can't pick it up, though. And the ball rolls over the line. Left half-forward flank for the Warriors.
And that's the first time that I've really seen Port Adelaide actually take a risk and try and set something up by changing the play there.
5 minutes gone. Lunn cleverly to Fiarchi, gets it towards centre wing. Stevens off the fingers of Hobbs. The running player out there is Foster as he drives to the half-forward line, coming across Hines. Also there, Borlase off the fingers. Martin Leslie kicks a high one in towards full forward, one-on-one. O'Dwyer and Hines, 1-2 grabs, in goes O'Dwyer again. Kerr across, Dettman against Brown. Dettman's coming out with a footy. Does it well, playing superbly in the back pocket. Gives a chance now for the running Fuller to drive back up towards centre wing. And there's the grab on a player who hasn't got the footy. And the penalty free kick will go the way of Aber on the half-forward left flank. Aber to put Port Adelaide into attack. Off goes Hines and Borlase. 4th kick, Abernethy. Negri back in defence. Kerr again, hooks around the corner. Marvellous mother. Dettman again. Kerr butters up. Leslie there, out to Borlase. Borlase hooks. Going to be shy on distance, or is it? It's a goal! I think it's a goal. We'll wait. Goal. Second one to Borlase. Port Adelaide 4-3 to the Warriors.
6-point lead to the Warriors. Nearly 7 minutes into this second quarter, and once again it's evident that the Port Adelaide players are having to snap those goals in the pocket and across half forward. Borlase has got 2, David Hines has got 1, and Roger Kerr has got 1. They've all been very good snaps, but gee, I don't know if you can keep snapping goals like that and hope to win a football match. Fuller kicks a quick one away. Phillips stands supreme at centre half back. Oh, he went in very hard. Hayden Stevens cops the free kick. Klug is on his own. Puts it out in front of the big rangy player. He's deep in the pocket. Away he goes. He's a genius, Klug. Lines it up with the left boot. Just misses. 1 point, and Neville, how good has that been?
He's playing some good football, and Phillips was a little unlucky there. He went and met the play, and John Klug really sat back, and possibly a bit of luck, but he certainly is a talented forward. He's having a real influence on this game.
Roger Delaney back at full back in place of David Harvey. Delaney coming back from injury, finds Obst on the half-back flank. Port Adelaide to edge it out of defence after that fine mark. Nice looking kick to the half-forward line. Hines the big leaper. Lunn can't find it. Leslie through, gives a chance. Kerr, gee, starting to prove a menace now. Puts it up towards full forward. Big leap, Borlase. Quickly Hines, Dettman, Fiarchi. Fiarchi wants Brown, or does he? Quickly Dettman again. Back now to Hines. He's unloaded. Schwarz in. Lunn back. Brown over the top. It's desperate defence at the moment as the Warriors defend Port Adelaide about 30 metres out from goal.
We're used to seeing Port Adelaide jumpers tackle like that, but Woodville are really committed. They're tackling fiercely, and Port Adelaide are under all sorts of pressure around the packs.
8.5 minutes, second quarter. Here he is again, the speedster. Roger Kerr pulls that ball around to give Hines a chance. Deep into the pocket. A punch away on that occasion by Des O'Dwyer. We'll see a throw in right forward pocket for Port Adelaide. We still haven't seen any magpie or smooth magpie movement through half forward. The Warrior defence is supreme. Lunn got it to Dettman. He dribbles one across the line. We'll see another throw in right forward pocket. 9 minutes, second quarter. The Warriors by 7 points.
Throw in about 5 metres around from the Port Adelaide goal. Negri back in defence. With him will go Hines. Negri gets the tap away. Can't find Grant. The chance. Kerr the shepherder. Borlase did it well. Well done. Kerr as well. Puts it up again right in towards full forward. Big leap. Hodges can't find it. Kennedy over the top. O'Dwyer as well. Scott Hodges in there, and the umpire is going to give a free kick here. Oh, gee, what a place to give a free kick for a high tackle. And certainly it was high. Arlen Kennedy just emphasising that to the umpire. A delayed reaction, and Arlen Kennedy has got a chance from only 10 metres out. 60-degree angle. Arlen Kennedy down from centre wing. Kick number 4. This will put Port Adelaide to within 1 point. He slips it through. His first, Port Adelaide's 5th. 5-3 to 5-4 on 10 Sports.
10 Sports action at Football Park. 10.5 minutes, second quarter. The Warriors by only 1 point. There's a free kick to Craig Ebert. He'll take it at left half-back flank. Well, they haven't had nearly as much as the ball as the Warriors, but they're only 1 point behind Port Adelaide. It's on centre wing. Plenty of players in there. Brown, Lunn, and plenty of Warriors, but there'll be a bounce down.
Swars has gone into the centre for Woodville, Peter.
Right, I'm sure there are going to be plenty of moves made out there tonight, because at the pace of this game, in the first quarter and a half, there are going to be a lot of tired players out there. A kick off the ground by Lunn. Hodges tries to push it through. Here's a chance for Dettman. Stuart Tottenham it may have been. He went for the tunnel ball through the legs, but again the tackling is too tough, and the play will be held up. Left half forward flank for Port Adelaide.
Players really going in hard. It's really tough work out there. Harvey can't find it. Arvin, Haylock. Gee, the tackle looks a little high on that player as Brown goes over the top. But umpire Rick Kinnear, one of Australia's best umpires, goes in for the bounce again. Puts it down, or thumped clear by Abernethy. Goes for the big one. Lunn's getting back in defence. Hodges closes on that player. Lunn did it well, just keeps it in play. Back towards half-back flank. Arvin can't. Quickly now in his Obst. On the left leg. Well, that's out over the boundary line on the foot. He couldn't pull it back at all.
Randall Jolly on for Woodville at the expense of Ralph Sewer, who's come off. John Carr probably looking for something special around the packs in the forward line for Woodville.
Best player in tonight's game will receive $500, and that will be awarded to him immediately after the match. Here's a go for Stuart Tottenham, still playing well, coming out and taking the good mark, Roger Delaney. Obst on his own, but Delaney switches tack. His first kick to the other side, Harrison. Gee, that was very well placed, that ball. Would have been a danger one if it didn't come off. He got it out to Phillips, centre wing. Great kick by Phillips, and marked out there by young Foster. Foster got it over to Stephen Williams on the lead there at full forward. Hines, he couldn't get near the ball. Schwartz has got it. Oh, the tackle was quick. It was fierce. Lunn into the forward pocket. Port Adelaide with numbers, but Lunn defends supremely. And gee, they've played well tonight. Daisy, they're all putting in. This is a real grand final.
Superb defence on both sides. A low-scoring game. It's only the Warriors by a point. Negri. Boy, he seemed to have his hand held there. Fiacci can't get the kick away. Parsons can as he edges it towards Tottenham on the half-back line. With him there is Harrison. They're having a marvellous duel out of there on the other side, and the umpire will come and throw it back in half-forward right flank. Port Adelaide in attack. Down by a point. At the throw-in, Negri. And Leslie it was. Haylock in. Leslie, Fiacci. Umpire said play on. Brown now has to play on. Lost it to Schwartz. Port Adelaide edge it in comes O'Dwyer to meet the ball. Can't pick it up. And it tumbles out of play in the right full forward pocket with Port Adelaide in attack.
Huge crowd here tonight, and Des O'Dwyer is doing everything right down there. He hasn't, yes, he has conceded a goal. I think Hines did kick one earlier this quarter. Negri from behind. Haylock it is, running towards the boundary line, hooks back. Lunn is the Port Adelaide player, standing alone and taking the mark, uncontested. 5-3 Port Adelaide, 5-4 the Warriors. Lunn's third kick, puts it up high. Negri couldn't mark the ball off hands. Out it comes to Lunn. Lunn to Stuart Tottenham. A talented player, as Ian Day has already mentioned. That's his seventh kick, centre of the ground, Hayden Stevens. Sensational player tonight. Two big grabs, two goals. Off he goes, up towards half forward. No mark taken there. Here's a chance. Arvin got it out to the running Fuller. Fuller hooks it back. Klug, low to the ground, couldn't take the mark. Phillips got it out. Lunn, running player, Stephen Williams. Back towards centre wing. Harrison couldn't take the mark. Haylock, that was a tough tackle, and the umpire says it was in the back.
Haylock to get it on the half-back line, almost up to centre wing. The tackle was high, no question. Kick number 7, drives to the half-forward line. Harris, now Arvin, back to Harris, closing in on Foster. Harris gets it high up towards full forward. Nichols over the top, goes for the safety. Jolly at the back, back there with him now is Ebert. Here's a chance. Nichols can't quite get it. He comes out with a footy, but can't keep it in play, and the throw-in will take place in the left full forward pocket for the Warriors.
It's It's a bit of a chess game here tonight. It's hard to keep up with some of these moves, but Obbs has gone in the middle and Brown's gone to a half-forward flank for Port Adelaide.
A chance for the Warriors. A kick that just didn't come off. Another stalemate, and we'll have a bounce down about 10 metres from goal. 5-3 Port Adelaide, 5-4 Woodville. Approaching 16 minutes in this second quarter. Lunn with the left hand. Another stalemate, and we'll see another bounce down. Oh, it's a red-hot game, this one. Number 5 there. Abernethy cannot get into it. The pace of this game is red-hot. I'm told by the number of possessions he had on Saturday that he might be a bit tired tonight, and I can well believe that. A quick kick away there by Craig Ebert, but it goes straight into the waiting arms of Stuart Tottenham. He's having a field day, or a field night. 8 kicks. He's had 2 handballs. He's taken 2 marks. He's too far out to score. He's going to put it right into the square. Big leap. Staying behind is Klug. Oh, the bear hug's applied. As soon as he got the ball, Ebert got it to Kerr. Kerr with pace, and he's caught. Brilliant tackle on Kerr. Williams can't pick the ball up. Whoop, could have been holding the ball, but wasn't. The handball comes out. Tottenham again. What can he do this time? Haylock's in the pocket, and another chance for the Warriors. Geez, I think of that Stuart Tottenham, Neville.
We saw him here Saturday, Peter, and he really is a cool customer. He uses the ball well all the time, and of course Randall Jolly, who was responsible for getting the ball to Haylock, he's also, we saw him in the seconds last week, and he played a very cool game.
Haylock's 8th kick, an important one. No goal, off hands. John Klug was in there. Now Nichols, what can he do with it? Gets the handball out to Pineza. Klug, quick kick away, no goal scored. Williams pushes over the line for safety, so we'll see a throw in right forward pocket for the Warriors.
Now it's the turn of the Magpies to defend desperately as the Warriors in attack adjacent to their behind post. Lunn back in defence, go against Klug. Lunn on his own some more, he missed the footy. Taken away by Delaney, screws a nice one high towards the half-back line. Negri comes across, can't complete it. Here's a chance now, Parsons playing well. Harris just inside the lines, got it. Might be just beyond his distance. Several leads, he's going to put it up for grabs towards the half-forward line. Haylock across there, but intercepting well in defence is John Harvey at centre half-back. He'll ease Port Adelaide out of defence. Under a bit of pressure at the moment. Down by a point towards centre wing. Hodges can't. Lum. Arlen Kennedy a chance now. Puts in a long one to the half-forward line. Fiacci's there with him. Dettman. Ball to ground. Dettman again playing well. Boots it out wide. Centre wing out of side. Hayden Stevens if he gets the set. Oh, he gets it back in now. Swars. Jolly's clear. Parsons back to Stevens. Runs himself into trouble. Swars in a double play. Over the half-forward line. Puts it up, but it's dreadfully dispatched. And he puts it straight to Port Adelaide's Lunn. Now Delaney as he goes for the safety of the line.
Well, Woodville just trying to keep possession of the football, and maybe overdoing it at times, but they really are holding on to the football. They're using it, and they're trying to go into their forward line with method. It was just a pity there that he didn't lift his eyes and have a good look.
10 sports action at Football Park sees Roger Kerr clear the ball towards centre wing. Leslie cleverly back towards Kennedy. Oh, he missed Brown with that one. Might pay for it as well. Lynch got the quick kick away. The speedster, Kerr. Is he quick enough to get away from that lot? He is. That's his 10th kick. Through centre half forward. Grant it is. He had to go the other way in a hurry, I can tell you. Put it back towards the line. He went for the safety of it, and Daisy, I don't blame him.
You're not wrong, Peter. Gee, he ran into trouble. He had nowhere to go. 1 point the difference here in the Escort Cup Grand Final. Live on 10 sports action. Almost 20 minutes gone. Throw in. Loose ball. Aerial ping pong. Quickly now Lunn. Defends stoutly, but I think he's put it too wide. Close to the line. Arvin can't make the distance, and the penalty free kick will go to John Harvey.
Well, getting close to half-time. What a half of football it has been. Can the Warriors hold on and go in with a slender lead? Who knows? Ball A's in a lot of trouble. That was holding the ball 3 times in one action. Live from Football Park, 10 sports action, 20 minutes, second quarter, Escort Cup Grand Final for 1988. Back towards centre wing, Lippis up, no mark taken. Harris bulldozes his way through there. Arvin is dispossessed. Obst, there's a free kick in there, and it will go to Obst, being held on to without when he wasn't in possession. Young Obst, number 3, kicks it clear. up towards half forward. The punch away comes back towards Roger Kerr. A chance for the Magpie Rover as he spears it back towards full forward. Oh, it's gone straight through. Is Hines quick enough? Tottenham it is. He's in attack and he's in defence, Daisy.
Well, that ties up the ball game, Peter. He's got a lot of pace and know-how. Stuart Tottenham, you'll hear a lot about that player during the course of the season. Des O'Dwyer, the former Redneck, who's come from full forward out there to full back and doing a fine job for the Warriors, finds on the half-back line it appears to be Terry Libbis. Libbis edges the ball out towards the half-back line. There's the siren. Well, you can't get a closer game than that. 34, both teams, comment Neville Roberts.
Well, the urgency and desire that typifies the need both these coaches have to win this game is cascaded into the playing ranks, and they've demonstrated their urgency and their fierceness for the last 2 quarters without anyone faltering at all. It's been physically a very severe contest, and can't help but think that it might end up being decided on just who runs out of wind and who runs out of strength. And I feel that at the moment Port Adelaide are just forceful. They're not doing it with a lot of method, but when they go into their forward line, they have got people at the football, and Roger Kerr in particular has been a fantastic strength.
Yeah, Neville, fitness obviously in any game of football, but particularly this one that they played on Saturday, and a couple of days break, it's pretty hard to come up, isn't it?
It certainly is, and I don't think I've seen a game this early in the season being contested as fiercely, and really these boys are putting their bodies in well and fairly for the last 2 quarters.
I'd agree with that. It's half-time here at Football Park. The scores are level, 5-4 Port, 5-4 Woodville. Stay with us. After the break, we'll bring you the second half. Half-time here at Football Park. Port Adelaide against Woodville, the 1988 Escort Cup Grand Final. A great first quarter to Woodville when Hayden Stevens starred. They booted 4-3 to 1-3 to Port Adelaide, but Port Adelaide came right back. They snapped some brilliant goals. They got a free kick through Arlen Kennedy, which was there. They've levelled the scores. Borlase, is he ever an opportunist? It's an often used word, but he's just that. When he gets opportunities, he kicks goals, and Borlase has got 2, and Hayden Stevens has got 2. Right now, back to the studio. Eyewitness News. I wouldn't stick my neck out now either, Steve. I can tell you what, though, you would love to be here. The atmosphere is just sensational. It is a real grand final. Why don't you jump on your bike and treadly down here?
That's not a bad thought, Pete. Actually, probably reminiscent of the '86 first semi-final, Woodville and Port Adelaide. I think, from memory, Woodville won by 7 points that night.
Yeah, they did, Steve, and I think that a lot of people regarded that as the best game that was played in that year, 1986. Now, tonight is a real grand final. It hasn't been pretty football, but I'm sure that you've been watching it back there from the studio. It's rough, tough, hard. There's a lot of hard tackling. A bit like Norwood in the old days, Steve.
And still some more of that to come yet too.
Yeah, I hope so. I know you're a Norwood fan, but they'll see better days.
Well, they'll keep going.
Graham, I know that you've been sitting back quietly.
They've lost 1 game.
Well,
yeah, just getting Steve in, aren't you, Pete?
Just sit down, Neville. He was going to attack me. He was going to stand up for his old side, so he should.
So he should.
But it really has been what you'd expect in a grand final where desperate things are done.
It's been super stuff, Pete. Really, both sides are committed so fully that it's very hard to get away from your opponents. And strangely enough, Woodville have indulged in a bit of tagging tonight, Pete, which has surprised me. I didn't know Russell Ebert would go that way, but he's definitely tagged 2 of the Ruck Rovers. Abernathy's been tagged on by Parsons. Certainly that's happened, and that meant that Peter Schwartz had to tag Andrew Obst.
That's a very wise move, though, isn't it?
Yes.
To tag.
Well, I guess Abernathy's such a super player. Yeah. But what happened to offset the tag? Jack Cale put Obst in the centre during that course of that quarter. That made David Brown a half-forward flanker come Ruck Rover. So all Peter Schwartz did was pick up him.
Right.
But, you know, it's an intriguing battle of tactics.
Well, there were some highlights in the first half, and this was one of them. What about that sensational mark from Hayden Stevens? No, it wasn't Hayden Stevens. That was got Parsons earlier on.
That was Parsons' first mark, but Hayden Stevens jumped out of the ground tonight, Pete. The surprising thing was that Russell Ebert also left out Templeton and Martin, guys that have walk-up starts normally for a place in the Woodville team, left out of the team. And it's proved correct, though, because Hayden Stevens has been, as I said, a quarter time, the surprise packet of the game tonight so far.
Well, that is Hayden Stevens.
That is Hayden Stevens.
That was I mean, I've used the word sensational. I'll use it again. That was just marvellous, wasn't it?
But he's a McGarry Reserves medalist, and he's been languishing in the reserves probably for 4 years. Now he's got his chance tonight. He just might grab it.
Well, he just did. Brilliant. OK, stay with us. After the break, Ian Day will be talking with a very special person. football park. Half-time scores are level. There's no doubt that the Escort Cup has been the real success story for 1988. To find out more about that, here's Ian Day.
Thanks, Peter. With me at the moment is a very happy General Manager of the South Australian National Football League, Lee Wicker. Lee, you must be absolutely over your mind about tonight's performance here.
Yes, Ian, certainly a marvellous attendance for the grand final of the Escort Cup Series. We expected a good support to the grand final, but looking out there tonight, we'd have close to 30,000 people, and I think that is a marvellous start to the season.
What did the league budget for in terms of crowd?
Well, basically, Ian, we look at around 15,000 for a grand final. That's been consistent with previous years. We felt that we could reach 20,000 tonight, but this has certainly exceeded our expectations, and the atmosphere is absolutely fantastic.
It's like a game against the Vicks, isn't it? It's just unbelievable.
Well, I think, Ian, it's an indicative of the support of football in South Australia, and I think people are very proud of the game here, and certainly that was proven in the carnival this year when we finished up being the champions of Australia.
The Escort Cup as a whole, how have you seen it? Are you happy with the attendances?
Yes, Ian. Tonight, obviously, we'll break all attendance records for the Escort Cup Series since its inception. I think the series has been excellent. Once again, we've taken the game to the country people, and tonight is the culmination of a fantastic five-week or five-match series with the grand final between two great sides.
What about the future of the sponsorship?
Well, Ian, naturally we're disappointed that the recent legislation that has been passed has threatened our marvellous association with the W&D Nacho Wheels Company, but we're confident that the sponsorship for the Escort Cup will be in existence next year, but after 1989, well, I guess we'll wait until that time arrives.
Lee, how about the South Australian National Football League's player retention lottery? Is that going well? Are you happy with it?
Yes, it is, Ian. I think the response to that, again, is indicative of the enormous community support to South Australian football. And as late as today, we've had some very pleasant news from the Australian Hotels Association through its president, Mr. Peter Whalen, and the Australian Hotels Council. They have given their total support to the lottery, and we're hopeful that every hotel in South Australia will have books available through their organisation.
So we can keep South Australian football healthy by getting a ticket for $2 from the league football clubs or the AHA.
That's right, Ian. I think, as I said before, the support has just been absolutely amazing, and we have 6 weeks of the lottery to continue, and I know that the players are most grateful for that support.
Lee, thanks for your time.
Okay, Ian.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. As we mentioned before, as you know, the scores are level, but if scores are still level at full time, the game won't finish. It will finish on the next score. Stay with us, the second half of the game, right after the break. To tonight's winner, $25,000 to the runner-up, and $500, by the way, to the best player tonight. And we trust you're enjoying the action here tonight, and I extend that sentiment to viewers from Mount Gambier, Broken Hill, Port Pirie and the Riverland, all of whom are taking our game tonight. And we were discussing this a little while ago. Notice to timekeepers and umpires. Yeah. Please note that if the scores are tied at the schedule end of time, you are requested not to sound the siren until after the next score.
Hell, that's news to me, Pete. Like, I really thought 5 minutes each end is a fair way to go about it. But I can also see, you know, well, there's a good reason for it.
Apparently they've got to turn the lights off at a certain time here, Graham. But second half about to get underway. Neville Roberts and Ian Day.
It's an even ball game as we pick up the second half in the 1988 Escort Cup final. In goes Scott Parsons again for the footy, but the umpire will come in and ball it up again. The Warriors led 4-3 to 1-3 at quarter time, and now it's 5-4 both teams, and you can't get it any closer than that. Negri, but it went straight to Phillips. Phillips puts it back to the half-forward line. Leslie can't, tried again. Dettman fires one to the outer side. That's well put. Arbor underneath the footy, got a chance to run. John Martin on the turf for the first time this evening, went through, didn't need him, puts it up for Nichols, half-forward line. Nichols going to be a leaper, but back in defence is Lunn. And the Port Adelaide ruckman whips it out wide, and it's taken away there by John Harvey.
If the first half was any indication, which it obviously was, the scoring end is the northern end. The reason for that is somewhat obscure. There's certainly, if there's any breeze out there, it's not going to the northern end. 5-4, scores are level. 1 minute, third quarter, Escort Cup Grand Final 1988. And according to Lee Wicker, General Manager of the league, there may in fact be 30,000 people here tonight. Abernethy on centre wing. Been well held tonight. That's his 5th kick only. Goes up towards the forward pocket. Hines was there. He's going to be paid. The umpire considering that he controlled that ball sufficiently. Let's have a look at it in replay. Well, he might have been awarded a free kick had he not been awarded the mark. David Hines kicked a goal in the 2nd quarter. This is his 2nd kick. Very deliberate kicking action. He's pulled it. He's got a point with that only, but Port Adelaide has now hit the front. And Ian, I think that's the first time tonight, is it? I'm not sure. I think it is.
Yes, Woodville got off to a point lead, Peter. Then the Magpies tied it up at a point, both teams. But as you say, that's the first time the Maggies have put their beaks in front. Hayden Stevens, good lead, good pass. O'Dwyer. Stevens just in the defensive side of the half-back flank. Ball kicks into the man, Cardinal Sin. Parsons got a bad one. Harrison got the good one. Screws it in long. Screws it in high. Close. Oh, Hines getting back with him was the desperate O'Dwyer. And the ball just screwed away. I think it would have missed in the final summary in any case. But the Magpies nudge another point.
Des O'Dwyer's been under a lot of pressure down there. He has done a good job, though. He hustles and bustles, and Hines hasn't been allowed to get too far away from him, although there hasn't really been any smooth movement down towards Hines. The ball just in front of the scoreboard now, left half forward flank, Port Adelaide. The Magpies do lead by 2 points as we approach the 3rd-minute mark of this 3rd quarter. Negri from behind, Leslie in front, through his legs. Quick kick away, Parsons, didn't go very far at all. Brown onto the left boot. Whoop, he didn't hook it back. In fact, it went off the side of his boot and out of bounds on the full.
Throw in about 35 metres around from, oh no, sorry, it's a kick in. Yeah, Alex Lunn. A nice looking kick up towards Negri. Lunn, quickly now, it was Schwarz, butters up again. Geez, a desperate player. Top game last Saturday against West Adelaide. All to no avail, of course. They went down by a point in a brilliant game. Gee, what a start to the 88 season. Umpire Argent puts it down. With him tonight, Rick Kinnear. Negri over the top to Fuller. Can't get it out. In goes Parsons, but gee, they're working hard for the footy. Strength against strength, but the umpire will have to ball it up again.
Number 5 in your screen there is young Stuart Totham, one of the best players on the ground tonight. And there will be a $500 award to the best player, chosen by Channel 10 Sports Action commentators, by the way, and that's going to be a hard job. Martin it is who hooks it back. Hayden Stevens he wants, doesn't find him. He backs up well though, Hayden Stevens, the man that set them alight in the 1st quarter. That is holding the ball. Great tackle there by O'Brien. He had one hand and the ball was in the other. Brown, sleight of hand to Phillips, centre wing now. Lunn, he's been a good defender. Hodges tries to mop up, but he can't. And there will be a throw in centre wing outer side.
5-6 to 5-4. The Magpies by 2 points. Negri, I don't really think that the Warriors have got the advantage that we thought they would with the absence of Russell Johnson. Lunn doing a pretty good job. Brown, Lynch now with him. Leslie can't keep it in play, and a throw in on the half forward left flank for the Magpies. 5-6 to 5-4.
It appears that George Fiacci's gone off, and Wayne Marnie at least has come on to replace him.
Left half forward flank, Port Adelaide. Low scoring 3rd quarter. We've had 5 minutes, no goals. Harris goes away with his 5th kick. Kicks forward, no mark taken. Hayden Stevens goes in very hard. Oh, he's playing well. Trying to give the ball to John Klug, but can't. And Phillips takes it over the line. We'll see a throw in between centre wing and right half forward flank now for the Warriors.
In the first 5 minutes, there's only been 2 points. It gives you an idea of just how tight it is. Brown, Lunn, around towards centre wing, almost a big mark. Arlen Kennedy not paid. Here's a chance. Fuller gets it out for Schwarz. Harris there, rather surprisingly to him. He got it, barges his way through, puts it up for Nichols. Oh, but out on his lonesome there is Nichols. I don't know what happened to Delaney, but Nichols must have been 10 metres clear of his opponent, and he's got it 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Seldom misses, only his 2nd kick. The first was a major. Let's have a look at it, and I think he's missed just to the wrong side of the post, 1 point only, and the Warriors put on their 5th. They're 5-5, the Magpies 5-6.
I think Delaney was expecting Harris to continue to come round to the grandstand side on that right foot, and he let Nichols go to the boundary line, not expecting the pass to go that way, but they'll always use him if they can.
Delaney's right thigh too heavily bandaged, and I think he's slowed right up, and he'd have trouble with Nichols when fully fit, let alone half fit. So the Warriors another chance. Nichols got the ball out. He got it to Arman. Back goes Delaney. Got a lot of trouble with that leg, but he manages to take the mark. Nichols may in fact be at centre-half forward. I think he is. Yes, and I think John Klug is at full forward. But that might only be momentary, because players do swap around rather quickly these days. Lunn. Schwarz brings it back. Klug in front. He's a strong man. You need to be against Phillips. Have a look at that. Brilliant work, Klug. He's found Hayden Stevens about 45 metres from goal, directly in front. Fifth mark, in fact, to Hayden Stevens. This is his 7th kick. Oh, it's a floating, wobbly old left footer, but it's good enough. Oh, it floated through. 3 goals to Hayden Stevens. The Warriors 6-5. Port Adelaide 5-6 on 10 Sports Action.
5 points as they go into attack again. Half forward line, Harris looks for help. He tries to get out. He doesn't well. Nichols now has got Stevens running again. 30 metres out, 60-degree angle, shoots for goal. But on this occasion, he's offline. But another brilliant attacking move by the Warriors, but came unstuck on the boot of Hayden Stevens. 1 point only.
Nichols back at full forward, and Klug is certainly at centre-half forward. If they can get any freedom up there in that forward line, Nichols is going to prove a headache, because Delaney is decidedly proppy. Stevens again. Well, he's got the ball on a string, as they say in the classics. Former Mount Gambier lad puts it back. Here's a chance as Klug comes across the front of the pack in classic form and takes a superb mark left forward pocket, Neville.
It appears that he might just be a little bit too fit for Phillips tonight. I noticed there that Klug took off after Stevens took that mark, headed to the forward pocket, and Phillips indicated for someone else to pick up his player and only jogged back, and he'll pay the price right here, I think.
9th kick, John Klug. That's his 2nd goal. Brilliantly done by the big centre-half forward from Tasmania. Woodville a 7-6, Port Adelaide.
That was an obvious move.
2 goals to the Warriors. Port needs some running players. Ab has been a little quiet, only 6 kicks. I think he might have Fuller on him and doing a good job. Lunn out towards centre. In there goes Schwarz again. Over the top went Obst, and the umpire will come in and ball it up again. 7-6 to 5-6. 10 minutes gone of the second half. There is no more after tonight. One side will have $40,000, the other 25. The tap down. Stevens can't get it out. Jolly can as he fires along one of the half-forward line. Harris comes to meet it. Oh, Stephen Williams went over the top. Leslie back in defence now, going to the line. Oh, Klug's got too much pace for him. Rips it out. Harris a chance if it sits. Coming to meet it. Delaney did it well. Passed it off, but left it there. Now joined by Leslie. Back in field, Lunn. Looks for Abernethy. He's going to have to make a metre to get there. Abernethy hasn't got the footy. They hang on to him. Crowd scream holding the man. But umpire Kadir not interested and will come in and ball it up centre field.
John Klug having a real influence on the game, and credit to him that Greg Phillips has been moved to centre-half forward and Leslie back onto him at centre-half back. Probably he's a bit fitter in the legs and more able to go with John Klug, Peter.
Yeah, I think you might be right, but they certainly need to do something. Actually, on my reckoning, only 2 goals tonight have been kicked to the southern end. Now, that would be a heartening statistic for Port Adelaide supporters and players, because the Magpies are going to the northern end in the last quarter. Been playing just past 11 minutes now, 3rd quarter. And a real grand final, as we have mentioned. Terry Livers puts it down. Here's a chance to build for the Warriors. Haylock's got it. Klug's the target. He's got it. Oh, he's a brilliant player, John Klug. Martin Leslie's on him now. That's his 5th big mark this evening. He's kicked 2 goals. He's had 11 kicks. And that is the style of the man that is hailed as one of the 5 best players ever out of Tasmania. When you throw in people like Royce Hart, Peter Hudson, and Darryl Baldock, and plenty others, this man is a great player. Gee, have a look at that. He's put it through. His third goal, John Klug. He's a match-winning player. The Warriors are 8-6. Port Adelaide 5-6 now on 10 Sports Action.
Truth for Port Adelaide now, down by 3 in a low-scoring game. 8-6 to 5-6, live on 10 Sport Action. The bounce between wing and centre on the outer side. In goes Livis, gets the tap away, gives Arvin the race. Brown there with him, but too fast. Martin Orr gets his set through the half-forward line to go. He comes back on the left leg, changes tack on the lead. Templeton can't find the footy. Klug again, the danger man, gets it out wide. Quickly into attack through Haylock now. Chances his arm, slips it out. Too fast Wars. Goes to ground. Williams over the top. He's got to get rid of that. Now Ebert can't get it out either. And the umpire will come and ball it up, and maybe just one too many handball then. A bounce down in the full forward right pocket, about 25 metres out.
Well, the Warriors can get another couple. Port Adelaide are going to be pushing it right uphill in that last quarter. Kick off the ground in the pocket to no real avail. The player swung around there, didn't appear to have the ball, but the umpire is going to bounce it. The Warrior bunker, some excitement in there. Romano Negri there, and Ralph Sewer with a bit of a smile. And the Port bunker. Oh, gee, it's a scene of gloom in there, but the game's not over. Nowhere near it. A chance in the pocket. Nichols it was, got the handball out. Oh, gee. Abernethy was stung. He was hit, and like a flash of lightning. Have a look at this. Bruce Abernethy has got the ball there. Bang. Now, there's the delayed reaction. Gee, he doesn't look well, but well, he did not look well, but he's got up and he looks pretty good now. What happened then, Neville?
I think he was more shocked than anything else. I think he caught him with the shoulder, actually, and just upended him. But Bruce is pretty tough. I don't think he expected the player to make contact with his head that way.
Well, great kick, though, back to centre wing. Off hands. Not much happening out there. It's gone out of bounds. Daisy, I refer to that statistic again. 2 goals only out of 13 have been kicked to the southern end. Now, for some reason or other, and it's obscure to us, nothing much is happening in the southern end.
Peter, I can't pick it up here. As you say, it's a perfectly still night, yet it seems to be the scoring end. During the Escort Cup series, that was the scoring end, but we always had a southeasterly blowing, and it was worth 2 to 3, according to Graham Campbell, but certainly not tonight. And what you're trying to say, of course, is Port Adelaide come home with that breeze in the last quarter. So Woodville have got to get a platform now. O'Brien had an airy kick towards the half-forward line. Here's a chance now. Abbott kicks it into no man's land. A race on for pace. First back there will be Martin, and he can't keep it in play against the 2 Port Adelaide players in Brown and Scotty Hodges. 8-6 plays 5-6, 15 minutes in. Well, what can we do for them, Mother? Got the glasses up. Livis trying to tap it back to Dettman. Lynch gave it to Brown. Said thank you, Bolton. Puts it up. Hines in the square. Getting back on it, O'Dwyer. Got his hands to the ball, but was going to miss in any case. And Port Adelaide get a point. They move on now to 5-7. The Warriors 8-6.
Des O'Dwyer, as I mentioned before, he has hustled and bustled back there at fullback. He's done a fair job. Puts it out wide towards Dettman. Dettman's first quarter and a half was brilliant. He didn't make a mistake there in the last line of defence. He's had 6 kicks, 5 handballs. Been a very effective player. Good defender. Off hands. Hayden Stevens well read. Gee, that handball needed to be spot on to Haylock. Haylock will get a free kick though. For a bit of a push against Stephen Williams. Or was it? Yes, I think it was.
This would be a very dangerous time for Port Adelaide here, Peter. Woodville are really running with some purpose now. They can sense that if they can get a bit of a break here, they might be able to hang on. And if Port Adelaide are going to be in the race at the end of this quarter, they've really got to do something right now. Talking
about breaks, Neville, they nearly got another one because Stephen Nichols all but marked that ball, and it was only some very good defensive work by Craig Ebert that kept it away from him. Might have been a free kick to a Port Adelaide player down there. Not seen. There'll be another throw in. Left full forward pocket. Port Adelaide. Woodville, should I say. Last 2 quarters are 21 minutes plus time on, so each should last about 25 minutes. And then we'll know the winner of the $40,000 of the Escort Cup. Not a bad loser's price of $25,000. John Harvey to edge Port Adelaide out of defence. Well, that's going to drop short. Stevens again. Solid mark. Geez, a one-grab player tonight. Got thumped on the lolly. Didn't like that very much. Overcome Abba. Well, maybe he's square for the evening.
Hayden Stevens, kick number 10, drops it in towards the square. Nichols against Delaney. Nichols used his body well. Here's a chance. Haylock winds out of trouble, hooks around the corner, loose ball. Well taken, Ebert. Judged it to perfection. Gives a chance. No, the curve went over his head. Half forward line. Hines comes to meet it. Can't find it. Ball as it was. Grant gets it back now. Dettman goes out wide. Looking for it out there is John Martin. Leslie does it well. Thought about putting it out to Obbs, but kicks long and out to O'Brien. O'Brien against Tottenham. The umpire's going to have to decide. Man in front. He's going to put the man in front. Who was Tottenham? But the crowd felt that it was Michael O'Brien's mark all the way, and I tend to agree.
Well, a courageous decision by the umpire there, but perhaps an incorrect one. Haylock it is who pushes it back towards the forward line. 12th kick. Haylock, he's played well. Ebert was in there. So was Leslie. Got the handball clear. Quick kick around the corner, finds Stephen Williams. That came from Bruce Abernethy. Williams puts it back towards centre half back. That's Abernethy, who moved very quickly. Puts it out to Roger Delaney. Very proppy, as we mentioned before. Goes for the bounce. He'll need to get a kick in a hurry. Low trajectory, punched away. Ball ace swoops. He's booted 2 brilliant goals tonight. Arlen Kennedy had the ball taken off his boot. Martin runs it to the line, and there's desperation plus out there.
Adrian Setry's come on the ground for David Brown, and Adrian will go and do the roving. But I feel at the moment that the move he needs to make is across half forward, and I think he just hasn't got enough pace there with Greg Phillips, and maybe Smith on the bench is for what he might do just to get a bit of touch and a bit of run around half forward.
The difference between the two sides is centre half forward. Klug has got 3. Port Adelaide are struggling. Maybe a move is necessary, as Neville said. Klug couldn't handle that one. Going through his Arbin. No, the high tackle's going back to a teammate. Are they going to let him play to advantage or not? No. It is going back to Scott Parsons on the half forward right flank, almost out the centre wing. Parsons, who had a very good first quarter, coming up with kick number 8. The Warriors by 17 points. As he puts a high one in, up towards Nichols at full forward. Delaney there with him, goes for the spoil. Well read Arvin, gets it out now. Templeton hooks around the corner, loose ball. Klug, shocking bounce. This could bounce through. I think that's a goal. An unbelievable goal. I think Klug has no Templeton's kicked it. Well, if anything's going to win a final, that was unbelievable football on 10 Sports Action.
Out of this game. They're going to the scoring end in the last quarter, but they wouldn't want the Warriors to kick another couple. A very delicate time in this game for Port Adelaide as Marnie gets it out, didn't get it far enough. O'Brien wants it. Woodville players all over him. And what an amazing effort by Michael Templeton to kick that last goal. That ball just kept bouncing and bouncing. No Port Adelaide player could touch it, and through it went. Umpires Laurie Argent and Rick Kinnear here tonight. We're into time on now, third quarter. Harris, will o' the wisp, away he goes. Haylock. Oh, that was a good searching, penetrating handball. Haylock couldn't quite manage it, but he's back into the fray. Oh, he should have got a free kick. Umpire Kinnear didn't see it. Well, they can't see everything. A chance, Port Adelaide. Marnie pushed off the ball, and free kick will go to the Warriors, and it will go to Haylock. Randall Jolly, in fact, is the player. Off hands. Roger Kerr hooks it back. Port Adelaide under a lot of pressure. O'Brien went for the punch. There's some pace. Plenty of pace. Parsons. Well, Hayden Stevens it was. Got it to Lunn. It comes back to Lunn from Libis. Or they could lose it, the Warriors. But they're defending brilliantly. Hardly made an error. Stuart Tottenham back to Lunn. Lunn a quick kick away. Left full forward pocket. Templeton appeared to give away a free kick with a push. Umpire said play on. Craig Ebert nowhere to go. Klug gets pushed into the ground. Very close to the line out there. And umpire Kinnear will bounce it.
They're high, Woodville. You can sense that, and I got to tingle up my spine because I can remember the feeling. It wasn't that long ago, and all those players really do sense that they're onto something here, and they're not going to let go. They're like a mad dog at the moment.
I think the Warriors have got a whiff of victory, no question about that at all. They seem to have 3-1 around the ball the whole time. They're just swarming into attack. Port Adelaide desperately defending, and they've got a 23-point deficit. Through goes Harris. I thought that was holding the ball. Nichols a chance. He lost it again to Abernethy. The umpire still lets them play on. In goes Kennedy. Kerr back in defence. Puts out a swift kick. Here's a chance. Jolly. He's got it. A brilliant game in the reserves last Saturday. Obviously got his inclusion tonight. Had 40 possessions playing centre. His third since coming on tonight. Puts in a long one. That's a big kick. Going up towards full forward. Big leap at the back there by Lunn. Not effective. And the ball goes off the fingers and through for the minor score. Port Adelaide 5-7. The Warriors 9-7. 4 goals in a low-scoring game is a big one, Peter.
It certainly is. I don't think Port Adelaide are out of this, though, because we do mention that scoring end, and I don't think there are too many players out there in the Port side that are that tired, and we'll just see if they can come back. It's out of bounds, out of sight of the ground. If I was a betting man, though, it'd be on Woodville. They lead by 4 goals, 23 and a half minutes, third quarter. Big crowd here tonight, and they are loving it. Go Sport. I tell you what, there are plenty of school kids here tonight. I think there was something like 40 buses that bust them all down here to Football Park. They've been drinking Coke, eating pies and pasties all night, and having an absolute ball. Centre half forward, the score's gone. Brilliant third quarter, Port Adelaide trailing.
Well, we've seen Woodville get the edge that I'm sure both the sides would have loved. That third quarter historically always proves to be the quarter to get an edge or to break someone's back, but Woodville really do sense something now. They're onto something, and I think with the experience they've had in recent years in playing a few finals, I think they're fairly confident that if they keep the cool, keep control of the footy, they'll be victors at the end of this game.
Three-quarter time, the Warriors leading by 4 goals, searching for their first ever senior premiership. After the break, we'll come back and see whether Port Adelaide can come back on 10 Sports Action. I'm here at Football Park, and the Warriors are leading by 4 goals. It really has been an outstanding effort for them so far. Borlase has booted 2, the main scorer for Port Adelaide, but 2 big forwards for the Warriors, Hayden Stevens and John Klug. And Graham Campbell, we've been having a bit of a chat up here about the best player out on the field tonight. We're going to give an award of $500 to such a player at the end of proceedings. How do you rate them at this point?
Oh, gee, Pete, I'd say Gary Haylock, Hayden Stevens you mentioned, and that last quarter was all John Klug. He's a powerhouse, that man. Gee, he's impressed me, Peter. He's a big, strong ox, and when he gets in front, you can't move him.
Right, Russell Ebert's just walking off the field at the moment, and well, he hasn't won a premiership, a senior premiership. Neither has Woodville won a senior premiership. Neville Roberts indicated a little while ago, Graham, that these Warrior players are feeling of success, that there's something happening out there. What do you think?
Well, Pete, they went into a huddle a few moments ago, that famous huddle where they G each other up. They are really sensing, they're smelling a victory. But I tell you what, be warned, Port have got the bruise this last quarter, and it's a 2.5 goal bruise, I reckon. This could be real tight still.
Well, I think you're right. As we mentioned before, 2 goals only have been kicked to the southern end. The Warriors are going to that end this quarter. Port with the breeze. Last quarter, the Warriors by 4 goals. Can the Warriors win their first ever senior premiership?
Everything in readiness for the last quarter of the Escort Cup in 1988. Umpire Rick Kinnear gets it underway. The Warriors by 24 points, and the breeze starting to spring up here at Footy Park. Libis against Lunn. The Warriors into attack quickly up there through Jolly to the half-forward line. It's taken there by Harrison. To send Port Adelaide out again. Puts all the kicks into the man. That's smothered off the boot. The umpire says you've got to play on. Fiacci didn't hear the call, and umpire Argent will have to go and boil it up marginally in Port Adelaide's attacking division.
And David Hines is off the ground. Martin Leslie stayed on John Klug, and he's got very physical. Darren Smith's gone to centre half forward. Greg Phillips to full forward in an attempt to do something in that Port Adelaide forward line.
Port Adelaide need a goal, and they need it quickly. O'Brien, an awful kick. Lunn can't find it. He's got it now, lost it. O'Brien again whips out a long handball. Kerr can get it over, slips it over into the goal. Goes Hodges, and a brilliant start to Port Adelaide. Hodges boots his first. The Magpies there, 6 and nut, right back in the fight.
8 minutes into the last quarter, 10 Sports Action at Football Park. Port Adelaide coming back at the Warriors. But I tell you what, a Warrior goal or 2 would certainly dent the Port Adelaide run at this point. Port Adelaide trailing by 3 goals, and as we so often see, in games of this nature, in important games, you can sometimes get to, say, within a goal or even level, but getting in front, putting your nose in front and going on with it is very, very hard. Haylock got a handball away, didn't go far. Plenty of players in there, and umpire Laurie Argent will bounce it.
The result of this game, for Port Adelaide in particular, will depend on, they haven't got much strength at centre-half forward. It will depend on how much they work and how many players they get around the ball, whereas Woodville, on the other hand, have got two powerful forwards, and if they can use those, I reckon they'll take this game right out.
Jolly puts the Warriors right into the pocket, but desperate defence there by Williams puts it out of play once more. 9-7 to 6-7, 2.5 minutes into the final quarter. A throw in about 35-40 metres around from the Warrior goal, and they would like one right now. Jolly comes over the top, gives a chance to Haylock. If he can get a sit, he'll kick a goal, grabs it towards the line. Brilliantly done, great Shepard. Haylock's first, his second, 10-7 to 6-7.
Last quarter, the Warriors just got one. I can tell you what, the adrenaline running in those players would be high. It's certainly high amongst the supporters. You can feel the energy around this ground at the moment. Everybody anticipating something special about to happen. The Port Adelaide is still in it. Lunn belts it up towards centre-half forward. Phillips, he might have been paid. He may have been paid, in fact. He should have been. I think he did enough. We'll see if he did do enough. One hand, how about that? What a powerhouse. Touch and go, that decision, but nevertheless, he was paid. His fourth kick, the rafters will come off the grandstand if he puts this through. He's nudged it too far to the left. Port Adelaide need goals, Daisy, not points.
You're not wrong, Peter. Gee, Greg Phillips has gone to full forward. That's how desperate Port Adelaide is, trying to get someone up front who can take a mark and kick goals. The Warriors have got one in Klug. Port Adelaide struggling. Martin a good lead. Whoop, just got it at the second grab before it went out over the line. Martin edges the ball back towards Lunn. Another fine player. Parsons through, cuts the ball out. 10-7 to 6-8. The Warriors have led for just about all the game, except Port Adelaide led briefly in that third quarter by a couple of points, but they've kicked right away now. Over the top, brilliantly done there by Parsons. Gee, he's done some good work this evening. Kicks back towards Arvin, can't control it, the ball out of play once more.
One thing that Port Adelaide would want to avoid is a desperate struggle with a lot of defensive plays. They really need to set some smooth work up through half forward. They haven't been able to do it all night because they can't get any ascendancy across centre or around the ball. The Warriors have just bottled that area up, or they've dominated that area just too well, Neville.
Yes, they have, and at these throw-ins and bounces, they've also dominated, and their players sit forward, Peter, just like that, and Port Adelaide haven't picked that up all night.
Well, they're building again. This will be a nail in the coffin if they got another one. Oh, that was well done, Roger Delaney. Daisy, he's obviously in a fair bit of pain there, but he's still doing a pretty good job.
He had a brilliant year last year, Peter, and it was desperate Port Adelaide to keep him back on the ground there after he obviously pulled a muscle. Oh, good tackle on Williams. That's holding the ball. Great tackle, Hayden Stevens. Fine night he's had. Into the pocket. That's a good pass. The running player up there. It's Haylock, I think. Beautiful pass, or is it Arvin? Let's have a look at it. It's Arvin. Into the pocket. Beautifully put. Running with the flow of the ball. And Richard Arvin has got a chance. 35 metres out. The angle's not all that great. Gee, this would really throw the cat amongst the Canaries, or should I say a Warrior amongst the Magpies. Sixth kick, yet to boot one towards the golf course end. Just a slight breeze starting to blow up. The umpire starts to move away and indicates only 1 point to the Warriors. 10-8, they've still got that 4-goal advantage.
Fantastic tackle by Hayden Stevens, and they're doing things above themselves at the moment, and took the risk and kicked deep to a player running into the forward line over his shoulder. We don't see that often, but Stephen Williams gave the ball back far too quickly there, Peter.
Yeah, I think he did, Neville. It certainly gave them the opportunity, which they wouldn't have had he kept the ball in his area. Woodville by 24 points. We're under 7 minutes into this last quarter, should I say, so enough time for Port Adelaide if it is good enough. Terry Lippis doing good work in there. Obst, maybe a player that could be used in attack. It's a tough coaching position out there at the moment. Port Adelaide have got to really lift as a team. Away goes Templeton. Kicked a miraculous goal in the third corner. Watch Nichols, up he goes. Oh, I thought he may have given a free kick away there against Delaney. A quick kick away. Oh, danger. Templeton, open goal, onto the boot. There it goes. Oh, the Warriors are delighted. 2 goals, Templeton. The Warriors 11-8. Port Adelaide 6-8.
Adelaide a little unlucky. Haylock, Nichols on the lead, lace out, brilliantly done. The Warriors walking on air at the moment. Nichols out of the blocks, did it brilliantly. Haylock's had a brilliant game as well. He's had 14 kicks, 4 handballs as well. Nichols from 35, 40 metres, casually put, brilliantly put. Second goals, Nichols, and the Warriors starting to run away in the Escort Cup Grand Final. 12-8 to 6-8 on 10 Sports Action.
Fantastic pass to Nichols, who we know to be just a very good forward in terms of getting out of the blocks and reading things. But it's more particularly, I think we've got to focus on the outer centres. 12-7 in favour of Woodville, 5-0 in that third quarter. They really are dominating that centre square.
Agreed, Neville. A ruck ascendancy, and perhaps now evident that Port Adelaide has really missed their captain, Russell Johnston. But still, you've got 22 players out there, and they're the only ones you can rely on. Oh, it's thrown out again by Jolly. Harris, Arvin puts it onto the left boot. Delaney's got the reach advantage. Oh, he let that one go. Nichols got a boot to it and nearly committed larceny then to put that one through. Brilliant effort by Nichols.
And in the crunches, always look for the Woodville players sitting on their side of the goal. They've been doing it all night, and you can be very critical of it, but if you've got possession of the footy, it's not a bad place to be.
Delaney kicking well. Kerr at the back. Martin thumps it away. Haylock can't find it. Stevens can. Stephen Williams, that is. And the umpire will come in and ball it up on the half-forward line. Well, Ronnie Fuller having a sit in the bunker. Captain of the side in 1988. But there's 22 players in a team, and they've all had to do their job, and they're doing it well at the moment. Or the handball went out there from Templeton just a little too far for the flying John Martin, and the ball beats him out of play.
Port Adelaide would need a miracle. The Warriors are staring destiny in the face. 1964 they were admitted to the senior competition. It's now 1988, and this could be their first taste of premiership glory. There's a free kick. That one will go to a young man that's also done plenty of good work, Scott Parsons. Gee, you could give it to Martin. Martin's a pretty useful player on the run. Well, he marks that one, and they're starting to play keepings off now, Woodville. And that's an indication of how much they're dominating. The Archie is off, should I say on, for Port Adelaide. Arlen Kennedy was the player that went off. Fifth kick, Martin. Have a look at that. It's just swayed offline, very late in flight to register 1 point. Port Adelaide 6-8, the Warriors 12-10.
Port Adelaide is starting to make moves, but I think it's going to be too late. And what a marvellous start with former Port champion Russell Ebert with his new club, if they can carry it away tonight. The kick is going to find Lunn, or will it? No, Libis. He'll need support. He's got 2 running players. Gets it out to Harris. The Shepherd will go on. Harris comes back in board, puts out the pass. Klug again. Oh, he dropped the sit-up. Still in there working for the ball. Can't find it. Back in there, Stevens as well. Abernethy over the top, and the umpire will come and ball it up. Well, John Klug is most unhappy with himself. That was a sitter. A beautiful pass from Harris, but he just couldn't rake it in. Hines on, Lum off. Port Adelaide making the change desperately. Or Nichols did it well. Back towards Stevens. Can't get his kick away. Williams loses it. Harris in again. Even crawls after it on all fours. Gee, they're working hard for the footy. And I can tell you the Warriors are not going to let Port Adelaide off this one tonight.
12 minutes, last quarter, and not one of this very big crowd here tonight has left. And there would be a lot of Port Adelaide supporters here, still hoping for a miracle. One never knows, as Williams with a penetrating handball. Abernethy it is. He was under pressure on the kick. They've been under pressure all night. Libis close to taking that mark. Smith couldn't get the ball away effectively. Lynch fighting very hard against superior odds. Smith picked it up, belted it forward. There's that man again, Dettman. He's played brilliantly. Stevens out of the blocks very quickly. Now Martin Leslie. A quick handball over to Harvey. A chance now for Port Adelaide to build as Harvey's kick is not the best one I've seen. Plenty of Woodville players out there, and Marnie was really a bit undisciplined there with that tackle.
In their last two attacks into the forward line, Ian, both times Port Adelaide players playing from behind seem to be looking for something special to happen. In games like this, it really is being in front and taking the risk.
The Warriors have played in front, and they're 38 points to the good. Martin bolts off through the half-forward line. He goes, he puts in a long one, getting back on it desperately. Delaney, was he going to touch it? I think he missed it. He claims that he's touched it. The umpire doesn't agree, and the Warriors have got goal number 30.
Final of the 1988 Escort Cup on 10 Sports Action. The Warriors are on the way, no doubt about that. They're well on the way to their first grand final. Out of the centre it comes again, and this is going to be a hammering. Obbs gets it out to Harrison. Harrison with pace, runs through half forward, playing a lone hand out there now. 11 kicks Harrison. Marnie streams into the pocket, can't take the mark. In fact, the ball beat him over the line, out on the full, so another Warrior free kick.
Peter, it's typical of how their forward line has perhaps gone all night. They just have no method in it at all, no cohesion, and they can't find a winner. But then again, what a magnificent performance the Warrior defence has put up. Stevens over the top. Brown hasn't been in it a great deal tonight. Back in defence is Lunn. No, it was not Lunn on that occasion. It's young Stuart Cottam. That's number 5, the 17-year-old player from Northern Territory. Last year he played in the Teal Cup. What a player he's going to be for the Warriors. At the throw-in, Smith hooks it back. Stevens again sells the puck well. No, Cottam it was. Back towards centre wing. Abba can't get the kick away. Fine tackle. Called to play on. A chance to go in. Hines put the grab on him. They called to play on now as Harris sends him into attack. Klug is clear. He's got it. Might be too far out. Looking for a running player. He's got in boards Parsons, and that's where it ends. And Parsons will slow it down and kick for goal. Gee, Klug has got some pace for a big man. And what's more, he's good defensively. When he's not in a position to mark, he'll spoil. And looks to be a great acquisition for the Warriors. Kick number 11 to Parsons, also had a big night. The kick underway, that's a nice looking kick. And that's through, his first. 14-10 to 6-8. And that is game, set and match.
6-8, the Warriors 14-10. Marvellous effort here. The Warriors are just steamrolling on in this game. Russell Ebert, the new coach, he would be delighted. I think he would realise now that it's all about to happen. Abernethy, free kicked in the centre of the ground, goes long screw punt, that's his 12th kick. Back goes Grant, big thump away. Lunn into the pocket, first to recover. Tries to mop up now as he gives Schwarz the run of the ball. But it's gone over the line, and we'll see a throw in right half-forward flank for Port Adelaide.
And of course, Ian, it's been against Woodville that Port Adelaide have scored their highest winning margin and their highest score. And I guess for people that have been at Woodville for a long time, this is a great tonic for them.
Oh, gee, what a great tonic for football in general the whole night. Nothing against Port Adelaide, of course, but it's marvellous for the game of football at Woodville after being in the league since 1964. They've got their first premiership. The league have got 30,000 people here, and generally what a healthy sign in South Australian football, as General Manager Lee Wicker said at half-time. Down goes Arvin, Fiarchi in, Jolly over the top. No, it is Haylock, and the umpire will come and ball it up once more. Ralphie Sewer doesn't look all that happy. Maybe he'd like to be out on the ground to celebrate their big victory.
Well, they'll be out there after the game, and we're going to stay right through all the presentations. We'll go down in the change rooms too to bring you all the action down there. And Hayden Stevens takes the mark. Talking about that Best Player Award, $500 is on the end of it. He'd be high up there, I think, Ian. Hayden Stevens has had 12 kicks, 3 goals, 8 handballs, and he's taken several big marks.
Well, they don't look too happy. I agree with you, Peter. They've had some wonderful players, Stevens, Haylock and Klug. But, gee, how about their defenders? Lunn, Dettman, all. John Martin getting into the act as well. He booted a long one before. No, he's offline on this occasion. In fact, is he out on the full? No, 1 point only. But I think in a game when you have a winning score like 14-10, you tend to look for the attacking players rather than defensive players. But Woodville has been good all over the ground.
Certainly have been. A good kick-off by Delaney, dropped by O'Brien. The whistle about to go. It does now. There'll be a bounce down right half forward flank for Woodville. 14-11 to 6-8. It's been a marvellous last quarter going to that non-scoring end. Well, allegedly the non-scoring end. They've booted 5 goals. What a great performance. Kick off the ground. Schwarz into the pocket. The pace of Templeton. Can he reach the ball? He's going to kick off the ground. He has centred that ball. Delaney. The sure hands of Delaney as he bends down. He needed to pick it up because sweating on him was Stephen Nichols.
That had all the earmarks of a good goal cross in soccer, and with the luck the way it was going, it was a pity the Woodville player wasn't in front.
The ultimate embarrassment it would have been to Delaney if he had got him clean bowled. It'll be Delaney. 19 minutes gone. There's only 2 minutes plus time on to go. There'll be a fair bit because the Warriors have kicked 5 goals in this last quarter. Stephen Williams off the half-back line to Kerr. A good first 3 quarters, probably as good as any player for Port Adelaide. The running player's O'Brien. Kerr's going on his own. Dettman's about to run him down. He's lost the footy now. Setri in there, has to whip out a handball. The Warrior defence has done it again, hassled them out of it. In there goes Smith having his first run. Back in defence is Tottenham, and the umpire will come and ball it up on the half-forward line of Port Adelaide, Neville Roberts.
And Ian, it worries me that when Port Adelaide go forward, they're just not doing with a lot of method. Roger Kerr had Marnie running into goal there, and he really should have disposed the ball over the top and given him every opportunity, but he hung on to it too long, ran into trouble, and they lost the ball again.
Yeah, there's been no real team performance out there, Neville, with Port Adelaide. They've really had to try and rely on individuals. Couldn't take the mark then. Phillips off hands it comes to Schwarz. John Martin sweeps it up towards centre wing to the pacey Templeton. Well, he kicked the goal of the night, but the player of the night's going to receive $500. There's been some outstanding Woodville players and a couple of very good Port players. Martin Leslie goes back. He's played well. But players like Haylock, Klug, Hayden Stevens, Alex Lunn, Dettman, for Port Adelaide, Martin Leslie, off they go now. Brown's got the ball, left foot kick up forward, and there he is again. That great defender tonight, Alex Lunn.
He's a top player. Kicks out long to the lead of Hayden Stevens. Over the top came Abbott. No, Harrison. Lynch back in defence, lost the footy. In goes Wayne Marnie. Marnie slips it back to Smith, but the umpire ruled that it's out of play as the seconds tick away in the Escort Cup for 1988. Almost full time. Full time is 21 minutes plus time on. So I suggest you the first half, or the first quarter of the second half, was about 23.5 minutes. We've possibly got 2 minutes left of play.
Marvellous game as Smith pushes it down towards the pocket. Here's a chance now for Port Adelaide as the ball is hooked back towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Off hands, John Martin gets the clearing kick for the Warriors again. They're leading 14-12 to 6-8. They've got this one in the bag. The Escort Cup Grand Final for 1988. No doubt about it, Ian.
Oh yes, you're not wrong, Peter. And what a brilliant victory it's been for Woodville too. Gee, it's what an emphatic start. John Cale, who's already won 2 Escort Cups with West Adelaide, is looking down the barrel on this occasion, but like the great sportsman it is, he'll take it well and just work simply harder for Port Adelaide in the regular day season. Hobbs gets it to the half-forward line. Back in defence, it's Martin. Gee, he's been a winner since he's come on. Is it John Martin? Let's have a look at his number. And down he goes, or comes up for air. But that's been a good move by Russell Ebert to bring Martin on because his pace has been important since half-time. The bounce down on the half-forward left flank, 22 minutes gone. Phillips over the top, Lebus, Martin, Dettman, desperate, Brown, whips it out. Phillips again, can't get it out, slips it back now. Kerr to the half-forward line, but once again, no method in the Port Adelaide forward line at all, as the Woodville defence has simply been too good.
And Ian, people might not realise, but there's only 2 players, or 3 at Port currently playing there that have been in a grand final for Port, and that's Bruce Abernathy, Greg Phillips, and of course Russell Johnson, who's not playing. So this won't do the Port boys any harm to play in a serious final this early in the season.
Jolly hooks around, not Jolly, it was Haylock. Gets back to Harvey. Can't get it out, and John Martin, he's just about to run himself into exhaustion. 14-12 to 6-8. The big crowd, almost to a man, woman and child, have stayed. Magnificent to see so many youngsters in the crowd this evening. Perfect night for the Escort Cup final. Smith in there, or Setri it was. Now it's for Archie. Kerr can't get it out. Still back there is Jolly, hooks around back towards the half-back line, but there it's taken by Obbs. He whips it out, gives a chance to Hines. Hines puts it in long. Gee, that's not a bad kick. The bounce will determine, but Port Adelaide hasn't taken a trick all night, and he's offline for the minor score only. 6-9 Port Adelaide, 14-12 Woodville. Final quarter, into time on by over 2.5 minutes. Taken by Jolly. Played well since he's come on, but haven't all the Woodville players. Free kick. Taken over there at centre wing by the Port Adelaide player. And what does the losing coach think about right now? Abernethy boots the long one in for Port Adelaide. Gee, have Port Adelaide ever missed Russell Johnson? It just shows you what a great force he is. Dettman. Oh, no pressure put on him at all. Sets it up for Haylock. Haylock looks for Dettman. Oh, missed him by a good metre. Bob says thank you very much. Puts it on its way. Smith can't quite get it. Chance for Port Adelaide. O'Brien unloads it. Swallows back again, strong in defence. O'Dwyer hooks it back. Setri again. In goes the heavy body of Dettman. Setri takes it off him, puts it up for Kerr, and Kerr's got it left full forward pocket. 24 minutes gone, must be only seconds remaining, and Roger Kerr, with his 15th kick, has a chance from 35 metres out. Purely academic. Port Adelaide thoroughly beaten on the night as Kerr puts it on its way, and that's a nice kick from the former Western Australian player. Boots his second, and Port Adelaide moving on now to 7-9 to the Warriors 14-12.
And Roger Kerr's been a fair menace to Woodville, particularly in those first 3 quarters, and he's managed to get himself in a crumbing position and in a receiving position most of the night. He's a hard worker and done it well. But I think the real focus now is to look at Woodville and to congratulate them on the way that they have used the ball and the way that they've played tonight. And Russell certainly has got a lot of emphasis on keeping possession of the football in.
Obst again. Yes, Russell Ebert, a fine achievement in his first season with the Warriors. Kicks towards the half-forward line. There it's taken. Siren's gone. The Warriors have done it. History has been created in the 1988 Escort Cup. The Warriors have won their first major title. They are Escort Cup winners in 1988. And excited Woodville players down there congratulate one another as Russell Ebert goes onto the turf and Neville Roberts a thoroughly deserved win.
Yes, they did it well, and as we mentioned a bit earlier in the game, their strategy, the way they played the game, the way they controlled the ball were very important features in why they eventually won. And of course, Russell Ebert and John Cale, there's a fair bit of personality involved in tonight's win, and it's a pretty emotional win for Woodville.
As Russell Ebert goes on to get the congratulations from Chairman Mr. Max Bash here, the President of the South Australian National Football League, the Warriors 14-12 has defeated Port Adelaide 7-9. We'll be back in just a moment.
To make the presentations tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to introduce to you W.D. and H.O. Wills, Regional Manager for South Australia and the Northern Territory, Mr. Max Bonner.
Thank you very much, Peter. It's a pleasure to be here on behalf of W.D. and H.O. Wills tonight at this, the 1988 Escort Cup Grand Final. I'd like to congratulate the South Australian Football League for putting on a magnificent carnival. The Escort Cup this year, I would say, surpasses any other year. And I'd also like to thank all the people for coming along tonight to make this a great final. It's a pity there can only be one winner. Woodville. Commiserations to Port Adelaide. They put up a great fight. You've all got to admit it was a great game. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Max. Unfortunately, in any sporting contest, there has to be a runner-up. Tonight it was Port Adelaide, but you've got something to cheer about. Russell Ebert coached the winning side. WD and H.O. Wills has allocated $25,000 of its prize money tonight to the runner-up. And I'm happy to introduce to the dais now All-Australian Martin Leslie to collect the cheque for the runner-up.
I'd like to thank WD and HO Wills for allocating this money for us. I don't think we deserved it tonight in the way we played. I'd like to thank all the Port supporters for coming out here and giving us a big, well, a lot of support, but we'll give it all back to you Saturday. I promise you that. I'd like to congratulate Russell and the Woodville Footy Club too. They put up a great effort and were too good tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. Well, $40,000 goes to the winner. The winner is Woodville. Ron Fuller's the captain. Come and get the cheque, Ron.
Congratulations, Ron. A great game. The team put in a great effort.
Thank you very much. Firstly, thanks WD and HO Wills for the money. It's fantastic, something to strive for. Thanks for everyone coming out. It was a great crowd. I'm sure all the players appreciated the great support, and special thanks to the SANFL and, best of all, the Woodville Football Club. Thank you very much.
Well done, Ron. We have one more pleasant duty to perform before we present the Escort Cup, and that is the player of the match. The Channel 10 commentators cast their votes a little while ago, and the $500 award to the player, or the best player in the 1988 Escort Cup Grand Final, John Klug. It was a pretty tough decision. The Warriors had many, many good players, but this man is certainly an outstanding footballer. There's no doubt about that. John's about to tell you how much he has enjoyed coming to South Australia and how long he's going to stay here.
I'd just like to thank the sponsors for the money. I'd just like to thank Jeff Hosking and the Woodville Football Club for inviting me across this year. It's been absolutely fantastic, and I just hope we can win another one later on in the year. Thank you.
Well, it's time to present the cup. I'd like to introduce to the dais once again the football administrator with the Midas touch, SANFL President, Mr. Max Bashir.
Thank you very much, Peter. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming out here tonight. 31,210 people to watch this game when there's a live telecast. We are very, very grateful to you, and thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your support. I shouldn't say this, but I will. It's more that went to the VFL final of their night competition, and we've only got a quarter of their population, so it shows you how good you are. What a marvellous night. Woodville thoroughly deserved their win, and I think that even though some of you might have been supporting Port Adelaide, and I'm sure a lot of you were, no one would deny Woodville their marvellous win tonight, and I'd like to congratulate them on your behalf. this would have been possible without the generosity of our sponsors, WD and HO Wills. And we are hopeful that the contract that we have with them, which we entered into some 10 years ago, will be recognised by the government of the day to enable us to continue this competition next year. And I'd like to convey to WHO Wills the gratitude of our league for their generosity in sponsoring this competition. It's become a very important part of the football life of South Australia. And I'd like to say to you, Mr. Bonner, please convey to your board our gratitude. But tonight, I reckon it's the Woodville Football Club night. I congratulate their administration, their coach, Russell Ebert, and Ron Fuller. Come forward. Right. What a marvellous thing, Ron, to be the victors of a marvellous cup. And my heartiest congratulations, and I'm sure that everyone here would join in with me in wishing you and your club the best of luck. Now, don't knock me off this bloody dose.
Great contest. Thank you all for coming again, and hopefully we'll be here again next year. Thank you.
The game, and what a marvellous game it was. 7-9 Port Adelaide, destroyed by Woodville. 14-12, and Graham, I'm out of breath, but it was a real grand final.
Wasn't it, Pete? And I mean, nobody predicted that last quarter. I really thought that with the breeze that Port had a slight breeze advantage, they may have stormed the Bastille, as we say. They weren't up to it. Woodville just had their teeth into this game. They refused to let go, and they grew another leg the last quarter, Pete. They were magnificent. And I mean, it just goes to show it's been a drought out there for a senior premiership as long as football's been played at Woodville. And they finally got hold of one, and congratulations to Russell Ebert and the entire Woodville club on a marvellous performance.
Graham, we did give the Player of the Match award to John Klug, but there were really a lot of players there that could have won it.
Well, Pete, I think the folks out there would like to know the voting. John Klug next 12 votes.
Right.
He beat Scott Parsons by 1 vote for that $500. Scott Parsons obviously got 11. Gary Haylock chimed in with 5 votes, and Hayden Stevens, the white-haired one who bobbed up that first half and really gave them a grip on the game early, he grabbed 2 votes. So no Port Adelaide people there. I reckon if you're looking for Port Adelaide good players, Roger Delaney perhaps, Martin Leslie had his moments, and Roger Kerr in the first half. Apart from that, it was really hard to find people that really played anywhere near 4 quarters of footy.
Agreed, and what a marvellous night for Russell Ebert. I think he started his league coaching career in 1983 when he took over Port Adelaide. In 1984 he had them in a grand final. It was a classic contest between Port and Norwood, and Port Adelaide went down on a very, very close one, but Russell's finals aspirations since that time, they haven't been too fruitful. Right. But tonight he's done it, and he's a happy man.
He has, Pete, and really he did it well too. He tagged early in the game, as I've mentioned, and it worked. And
I guess he'd know that you've really got to get Abernethy out of the game, don't you?
Well, he's such a superstar. I mean, he's been all over the place in the Escort Cup and in the first game last week. Kicked 4 goals, I think, and virtually won the game for them. A lot of people are saying Russell Johnson not playing tonight cost Port dearly. He hardly played last Saturday, from what I've been told. He went off the ground pretty early, and it cost him dearly.
They had some forwards though, Woodville. Hayden Stevens really set them alight early. John Klug was just a strong, rugged centre-half forward all night.
Yes.
Martin Leslie was put on to him after he was just too mobile for Greg Phillips, but as soon as Martin Leslie went on to him, he kicked a goal.
Things happened for him straight away, Pete, and as I made mention at 3/4 time, he's so hard to shift when he gets that big body in front for that mark coming downfield. He is a real top player, and I mean, losing Andrew Taylor has been no loss at all, and I hate to say it, I was a great rap for Taylor last year, but this John Klug is the equal, if not better, than what Taylor had to offer as a centre-half forward. I like him. The boy in the wing, Totham, early in the piece showed something too. They tell me he's only 17.
Yeah, I had a chat to him out on the ground. I was just sort of edged back off the dais there when all the Woodville guys got up there, which
pandemonium broke loose.
I tell you what, they are a really excited team. That's what they are. They played like a team. They won like a team. They accepted the praise and the kudos like a team, and I reckon they'll celebrate like a team tonight.
I know it's a hackneyed phrase, but football is a funny game, isn't it? Last Saturday, Port have won by plenty down at Alberton. Woodville lost to West Adelaide, a side we thought might struggle with the personnel they've got this year, and this game really looked like a walk-up start for Port. It wasn't to be. Great effort by Woodville to grab hold of this game, and at half-time, anybody's match, 5 goals, 4 apiece. We all thought perhaps Port, with their experience in finals, just might edge away, but not to be, and Woodville were just great tonight.
Just a bit of a post-mortem for Port Adelaide. They were in the game, certainly up to three-quarter time. They still got a bit of a problem with this centre-half forward, centre-half back thing. We might talk about that later. Let's go now down to Ian Day.
Congratulations, Russell. How does it feel to be part of history in your first year with a new club?
Well, it's particularly pleasing. The season's very young, and my stint at Woodville is very young, but the lads made the grand final of this competition last year, and they were very, very disappointed in their effort on that wet and wintry night, and I think tonight they were very, very determined to do well for themselves and for last year's effort, and also for the club. So, yeah, I'm real pleased with it.
Russell, it appeared also, too, that you had winners all over the ground. It wasn't just a few, everybody put in.
Well, that's the way to win grand finals, Ian, and I never won by 1 or 2 players who really dominate as a rule, and it was a real hard work game where everyone contributed.
Do you feel that Hayden Stevens' 2 big grabs early in that first quarter with 2 goals, do you think that put you on your way?
Oh, I think so, and I think there was a lot of sort of individual highlights in the game, but really the thing that came out to me was the way we attacked the second half, and we got really fair income about our footy, and we played sort of premiership football.
Russell, would you like to mention a couple of those individual highlights?
Oh, I thought John Klug's effort was really good. Hayden Stevens. I thought Gary Haylock. I thought Randall Jolly gave us something. I think Stewie Totham on the wing played particularly well. And our back lines, again, really held firm.
It's unbelievable. Alex Lunn, Ian Dettman seems to have filled in that back pocket nicely.
Yeah, he's all keen to be successful, and they weren't happy with the last half of last year, and we're out to redeem it.
John Klug, how good is he?
He's a good player, and he's been to Victoria in under-19s, but he's decided to come here, and I'm real pleased to have him.
Russell, congratulations. I know you want to be with your players. Well done, and all the best for a great 1988.
Thanks very much, Ian. I think with John Klug to beat Greg Phillips and Martin Leslie in the one night is a super achievement.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Ian.
Thanks.
Well, he said it. He said it very succinctly there. A player that can do that in one game of football is certainly something. But as a commentator and as a so-called critic of the game, you want to pull back a little bit. You don't want to heap too much praise on people.
That's right.
Because sometimes it comes straight back at you, doesn't it?
That's right. You fall flat in your face, Pete. I just thought that Woodville tonight were just so committed. They were runners-up last year, as I think Russell touched on that point, and certainly they just felt this is our night, and you could just breathe it, couldn't you? At three-quarter time, even though I said Port could come home with a silly chance, kicking the first couple of goals, they had to do that. They kicked the first one. That was the end of the penny section, and all of a sudden Woodville grew another league, as I said, and it was all over Red Rover.
You know, there's a couple of good things about the Woodville side now, and number one is they play very, very well at Football Park. They've got a good record here.
Excellent.
This is where the business is done. You don't win a grand final unless you can win one here, because this is where they're played. Also, they play very well against Port Adelaide. They just seem to just starting to get Port Adelaide's measure, and the Woodville, bit of confidence after that grand final win. They might go on to better things. Eyewitness Cup, 11:30 on Saturday morning at West Adelaide against West Torrens, and the big replay. 2 big games there. West Adelaide against West Torrens from Football Park, and Glenelg versus Port Adelaide from the Bay Oval. Port might be a little bit sick and sorry after tonight, you never know. But then again, they might bounce back. A few players out injured tonight, but and without Russell Johnston, but 22 against 22, and the Woodville side was just too good. Thanks for your help tonight, Graham.
Great night, Pete. Big
hasn't
night.
it ever been? Yeah, I think we'll go and have a Coke. On behalf of the WD and H.O. Wills Company, the SANFL, and the entire 10 Sports Action team, good night.